Okay, so real quick, what I did was I just went ahead and put the fuse back in. Just brought everything back over here to the bike and plugged everything back in. You know, I think before you go much further, just my thought is just test everything out. So, you know, horn working, gauges tripping, turn signals are working, headlight, brights, passing, cruise control turns on and off. I obviously can't start the bike, but there we go. And right turn signals, and I can turn off my traction control, turn it back on, so we're good to go. So I'll unplug everything, and then I'll put the risers on. I'm going to put some of that braided wire sleeve over this stuff when I run it back through to clean it up, and then we'll see where we're at. Alright, so while I have the tank off, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and install this set of Screamin Eagle Screamin Eagle spark plug wires. I just kept the black. Really wasn't sure what kind of color accent I plan on doing to the bike in the future, so I'm going to stay with the standard black for now. Obviously it comes with the 4 wires, and then it comes with new clips and everything, and some zip tie clips. So I'm just going to kind of, I think, kind of do one at a time and then match it up with the wire. So I mean, right here you got one of the stock coming off. It comes with some dielectric grease too. So we'll go ahead and utilize that. So kind of lay them side by side, if you will. So shortest one, honestly, there both. This one is definitely okay. So you have 2 that are pretty much identical. I think that not going to matter much on these 2. A little grease right there on the end of that spark plug, and put a little bit right here in the tip of that dude, and pop that on. I will have to use the new clips because these are fatter. And get that positive click. Okay, the risers. So one of the risers came off with just taking the nut off the end. The other one, the bolt came out entirely. So that's okay. It kind of gives us a chance to talk about what we're going to have to do in each situation. So get a pair of vice grips. The goal not to booger them up too much, obviously, because you want them to be able to slide back through. Okay, so just vice grip on the smooth part of your double-sided bolt. And that one came out super easy. Okay, set that one to the side. Now this one, I'm hoping decide to be as compliant. So let's take that 3/4 socket off, and hopefully we can just work it past that Loctite that's on there. Really surprised there was no Loctite on the actual stud that was going into the riser itself. There we go. So either way yours come out, either way yours come out, that gives you an idea of how to get them ready. So going forward, the edge with the Loctite on it is the part that goes up into your riser. You also have the option of doing long grade A bolts too, if that's what you choose. So here's our Bung King. These will just go right in there. You can use your vice grips. Just be careful you don't put them on the threads. Oops. And get them in there. What you don't want is, you want to try to get in as much as possible now. It's not turning on you when you're trying to get it in there. This one does not want to go in as much. Give it some turns. There we go. Okay, so reinstalled into the new risers, and then we will, really don't want Loctite dripping down. I might just put Loctite on the nut when I put it in. Okay, all right, let's go back to the bike. Okay, so these go right back in there. So, whew, getting close. All right, risers are on. Let me get them. Let's get the nuts on the back of these. Let's get that tightened up, and then we're going to sleeve those wires, and we can get the bars installed for sure. Then I'm real curious if my stop brake line's gonna work with the Thrashin Supply bars. I did order one. Okay, got the washer for the bottom of the bushing, nut, and then some blue thread locks. So it looks like we're on this side first. Let me put some thread lock on there. I'm gonna try, I'm hoping, oops, washer first. Hoping I can at least, yeah, get it on by hand. Okay, cool. So, got it on by hand to start with that thread lock on there. Now, the long setup with that swivel. Same setup we used to take it off. We're going to use to set this down here, put it back on. So again, we're going to come up through, and then we're going to get that on there, and put our socket wrench on there and start tightening up. Just go slow. At least you can look at it. Trying to see where it's at. I took one of the extensions off and just got it right below the fairing, which seems a little bit easier to manage. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop. It's pretty tight. Go ahead and stop. We're going to twist. Okay. Got that twisted there. Okay. Same thing. Other nut, other bolt, or other bolt, other washer. I meant to say. It's hot. I'm tired. May take another break here soon. Okay, get the washer on there. And the nut. And you can get it started by hand, which really helps. So if you have to try to balance all that, it will be pretty frustrating. Okay. Okay, so same thing, up and under. Get it on there, up and under. Socket wrench. Again. Wedge in there with the wedged in there. I don't know what happened. So up and under. On there. Now, come on. This would be a booger. Hit stuff, obviously. The wiring for the radio and everything kind of all up in the way. Okay, so I'm going to try to get this one as tight as I can. Okay, turn this back the other way. the other side. Wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't so hot. Honestly. It's just hot. Humid. More than anything. Okay. Tight. All right, let's straighten it out. All right, we're in the homeward stretch. I'm actually going to try, so the braiding or the wire braid sheathing I bought for this was too small, so I'm not going to be able to do that. That's okay. So I'm going to actually try to install this without having to use the extensions, because the Thrashin Supply high bend bars were not as tall as I thought. So I'm thinking there's a really good chance that I'm going to end up not needing the wire extensions or the new throttle cable, or the new brake cable. So I'm going to try it without those, and we'll see how it goes. Let me grab the top clamp and then we'll get that bolted on. Alright, so I'm just going to set this on here for now. I'm going to just kind of get these threaded in so the bars don't fall off. Okay, very loose right now. Okay, I'm still able to move the bars. Okay, and that's the 1/4 inch Allen. Okay, let me move that to the side. Alright, so now let's take these wires through. So I'm going to go ahead and, so now it's when it's important. Oops. Okay, so now we're just feeding the wires back through. And I think that we can get away without having to use wire extensions, which would be really sweet. I'm going to do these. One at a time. So just bring each one back through. Okay, feed it down, grab it. I may yep. So okay, didn't need an extension on the did not need an extension on the gauge, but I am seeing a need for the extension. So alright, so we're gonna run the rest of these through, and it looks like a good chance we will end up running extensions, which we have them, so not a big deal. Let me go get this. Okay, so you're going to want to do with these extensions is plug them in first. Solid click. Looks like I got the throttle on there without an extension, and I got the I may go ahead and put the extension, or the, I may go ahead and put the extension on the throttle too, but right now you just need to feed them through, and it's kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest with you. You gotta finger through there. Come on. Feed them through. And then there you go. Plug it right in. Okay. I got the throttle on there without an extension. I'm tempted to put the extension on. That way, if no, I'm gonna leave it off. Okay. And then here is the extension for the right side. Go. And there we go. Okay, same thing. Feed that through. Feed it through here. Finger back in there. Pull it through. Plugs. Yes, it is humid out here. Okay, so now everything else should tuck back in there. You got plenty of wire. Too much wire. Tuck everything in there. Try to get as much of this as possible. Okay. So, give you a shot. Get everything tucked in. So now let's get that rubber boot back on. Okay, put that rubber boot back on. I went ahead and cut that center piece out, which from my previous bar installs I just found much easier to deal with. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna kind of open that up, wrap it as much as you can. I'm gonna have to move this camera. Get a lot of this in there, kind of wrapped around it. And then you just kind of gotta push this thing in. But this is definitely what keeps your wires, everything kind of in place. tucked in and tight, so double check it. Yep, pretty good. Okay, so get that boot tucked back on there, get your wires tucked back in. Now we can start looking at bar position and controls. So okay, I'm just going to kind of start out kind of thinking about where they were. Just kind of cross back and forth. Definitely something that's gonna be fine-tuned once the tank is on and the seat's on. Good enough for now. Okay, it's good for now. So, okay, that was 1/4 inch. Leave that there. Now, what we need to do get our new grips. New Avon grips. The one for the throttle side, if you look inside, you won't really be able to see it, but it'll have a bunch of notches. So that's, you know, that's going to slip right there, and that's going to be your throttle. Okay. The one for the clutch side, it's going to have this notch there, so it's going to sit in really well to your clutch lever and your controls. So I need to pull these just a little bit. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to focus on focus. Okay, we'll focus on the clutch side first. So, what I want to do is, that's about where that's going to go. Perfect. Okay, so let me unbubble wrap it. I think that this helped just kind of stop stuff from getting scratched up needlessly. So now the question is, will the clutch? It will not. So a couple options here. I have a new clutch cable, just longer, or I know that if I took this off, I could wrap the clutch cable around the front, and that would be more than enough for now to get me the room I need to do this the way I want to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and come down here. So on your clutch cable, you have this bracket that goes around the frame. Pull that off. Pull this up. Okay. You have this red. Pop that out. Okay. Pop that out. That should give you some play in that clutch lever. I'm going to have to cut that zip tie. So whether you decide to do a new clutch lever, or I'm sorry, a new clutch cable, or this, you're going to have to do all this anyways. Okay. So yeah, that is a problem. Looks like when I routed one of the wires, I put it around the clutch cable. So if I can get this to unplug easily, okay. Oh, thank you. We're gonna go this way, like we should have. That should have been tucked in there. Anyways, I'll deal with that in a minute. Okay, so if I can get this to come through here. Oops. Now we can go up here. Okay, I'm going to pause this because my battery is about to die. Alright, so one serious issue with the GoPro is how it overheats. So fortunately this heat is making me pause, but also making my GoPro pause. Alright, so you're basically going to get everything lined up back the way it was. So I was able to run that clutch cable. I loosened up at the bottom like I showed you. I ran it underneath the triple tree, and so now we're just going to run it in front of the triple tree, which, you know, for right now is awesome. It saved me from having to swap it out, and but give me the option, since I have purchased a longer one, to go with a riser extension or wonderful taller bars. I cannot do that from here. Taller bars in the future. So getting to these, getting to this one on the bottom is a little difficult with these long-handled Torx. be careful too. You don't break the little brake light switch that's on here. So when you, let me show you. So you see right down here, there's a little brake light switch. So when you put this together, make sure that you pull in on your brake lever a little bit so you don't snap off that brake light switch, which is unfortunately a common thing that happens with people. And then that will just complicate your life. Okay, so here's where we are. I got the brakes on there. I really like that play in there. That might adjust. I got the brakes on there. That banjo is really close. I don't really know how that's going to interact with that in the future. But it looks like I just had to bend this down a little bit more than it was. So they're on there. I won't really be able to play with this until I get the tank on and the seat on. So let's get the tank back on. Let's get the seat on, and then we can adjust the bars. All right, so putting the tank back on, kind of a reverse. You get it on there and get that front bolt in there. So now let's go ahead and prop this up. We're going to need to, okay, just like we did before, we're going to need to plug the I'm going to plug the relay in. So I'm thinking that I'm going to utilize okay. Now we're going to go ahead and plug up our vent right there, and then we're going to need to use our stick under here again. Make sure you can see this. How my understanding is that we're going to put that there, push up, and it locks. There you go. Hear that click. Okay, we got our vent tube. I'm gonna pull this stick out. We're gonna lower this down. Get that vent tube all the way on there. Bring it back down. And now get your back bolt in, then tighten it up, and then your tank is on. And we'll get the seat on and we'll adjust the bars. Okay, we got the tank seat back on. Grab my 1/4-inch Allen. So what left to do is take it for a test ride. My check engine light is on. Just need to reset those codes. That's going to happen. It's happened every time I've done bars. So just need to reset that code. Like I said, that's tight, but it is doable. But I am going to switch that out when I get my new line. And then I may go ahead and do that new clutch line too, just to get it back where it was stock, and you know, just kind of see what's up. So we'll take this for a test ride, and then I'll give you some final thoughts on this setup and what I still have. All right, so I hope that you liked this latest video from Backroads and Barbecue. If you did, please click that like button and subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell icon so you get notified when new content comes out. My hope is to continue to ride to new and different places in Oklahoma and surrounding states. Look for those back roads. Look for different places to eat, primarily barbecue, but we will have some different stuff here now and again. And just to continue to show you some of these areas that I am discovering in Oklahoma. I was not born or raised here, so everywhere I go is typically new. So I am looking for new places to ride, visit, and new places to eat at. I'm also doing my Tour of Honor ride, so I will continue to post those videos, as well as traveling and praying for small Southern Baptist churches in and around the Tulsa area, and just as far out as I think I can go and get back in one day. So come along for the ride, join us, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and we will continue to try to produce good content that I think you'll enjoy, as well as install and maintenance videos on my 2023 Heritage and my 2015 Road Glide.